Okay. So before we get started, just know a few things. One, I'll stitch the audio together and I'll throw in some video in there. And I do want to put it up because a part of me feels a sense of urgency because I know that I'm not the only one that's coming close to these conclusions. And it's very possible that some other individuals may have... almost every single thing has been pointed out by somebody. Sometimes it's just an individual that might be lucky enough to gather up the right grouping of breakthroughs or perspectives. So even though I don't plan on finishing writing the book for the next few months because I want to do more research and references and analysis of it all, at least I'll have something up there with a timestamp and on my website and on my blogger to show that at least I put it up together as soon as I could. And I feel like the most recent piece of the puzzle that I needed, that I came across like about 2-3 months ago. I'll talk about it when I get there to that point, but I feel like all these other things had been almost in alignment with the exception of these other two critical things that I felt like I couldn't explain or couldn't get around. And once I got that, then it got to a point where I no longer was... I had more incentive to try to build it than it is to continue to study about whether or not it would be possible. At this point, it's almost like put up or shut up kind of deal. So it's not just me writing the book. I intend on starting a side project building this thing that I said that I can be built. I mean, it's the only way to do it. And so I'll write along my way my progress, and in itself will write itself. It's the book, so to speak. I tried to start a podcast originally concerning this, because I felt like I had gotten to a point where I needed to make a checkpoint of all the studies that I've had, because none of my work is in a easy-to-access, read, organized method. And this checkpoint that I have, I feel like it's time for me to go ahead and at least write a paper or a book or something on the record showing what it is that I believe, my conclusions and stuff like that. So before we get started, and the other thing is, if there's something that is said, or if in retrospect you guys want something to be edited out, feel free, because my primary concern is me using this so I can listen to these recordings and hopefully maybe put some more thought into what I hope to be some blind spots that you guys might be able to help me out in, or holes in my logic. And because I'm okay with being wrong and not necessarily having all the right answers, I'm okay with just going, oh, well, okay, then I'll just mark it off as I'll think about it later, and for us to be able to go through the entire book, because there's a lot to cover. And I want to try to... If you guys want to keep talking about it for more than an hour, that's fine. But I initially want to go ahead and at least have a brief overview of the whole book.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to do maybe about 20-30 minutes on each section, and there's 3 sections pretty much.
Okay.
So before we get started, if you guys could maybe just say your name and what's it called? Your... I would almost say maybe a little tiny bit about your guys', because I know that each one of you guys individually have expressed a passion in philosophy and a passion in things concerning the human condition, but you guys could probably explain it a little bit better than me.
Emphasis.
Yeah, you're kind of a thing about what you guys are looking forward to either discussing, because I said in a post earlier about a little bit. Yeah, just to kind of get a context before we get started. So for the recording, if you want to start, I guess.
Okay.
You could just be right there, just as normal, because we're going to be talking.
I'm done eating.
Oh wow!
All right, so I'm Damian Smith, and and I'm gonna show you a good time. All right, Damian Smith. Consider myself a student of life, a student of the arts, and as far as questions into AI or the human condition, I'm very, at this point in my life, I'm very interested in the total human experience, the good and the bad, and then understanding the importance of solving problems through going through the hard stuff. So,
Yeah, thank you very much. That's awesome.
Okay. I'm Talon Shepard. Major interest is I discovered what philosophy actually was around the time I was 26. Before that, I was a philosopher, I just didn't have a word for it. I'm interested in meaning, purpose, but also parameters of reality. Like, what is real, what exists, and what implications does that have to how we live? So a lot of that, the way Socrates said it, the unexamined life is not worth living. I love examining life and working out the implications.
That's a good quote. I like that quote. It actually, I think, plays a cornerstone of this part right here. This part right here. Oh, I'm going to start breaking up these recordings because it'll help me edit it later. So that's pretty much like our intro.